map, or the copy of the plan, and unfortunately my niece wouldn't help me do any more than the one copy, so if you guys want to take a look at it, there's a legend showing where parking would be, where future signs would be. Since we would also be striping that road, it'll give you the center line. Obviously, it'll give you the white edge line. We have two of the residents from the homeowners association are here tonight. I showed them the plan just briefly. I know they have some concerns about the parallel parking.
I'm confused. I thought the parking plan was set aside in favor of speed bumps.
Yeah, they didn't want, if you remember originally, they didn't want them up at the top end. And since we're going to, even if we put the speed bumps in, we're going to have to stripe the road anyhow. So with the striping and narrowing the roadway, it only makes sense to have, that they're already parking in those areas. So that's going to eliminate, you know, that 8-foot parallel width there. So it's going to reduce the road width from 30 down to 22. And depending on how we do the white edge lines, that could narrow it down even further. So I just wanted to put something on there so you guys had an idea as to what we were talking about. And I know, Terry, you were going to look at the speed humps or whatever that you were driving over down in Phoenixville.
Yeah, they were like 30 inches, 36 inches, is that what you were looking at?
There's defined.
It's a table, small table.
There's definitions in the traffic calming manual, two different types of tables that you can use. So that's nice and easy and cut and dry. It's just a matter of choosing which of those. That was discussed at the traffic calming committee meeting, and it seemed like the less dramatic of the two tables was the one the committee
Was
discussed.
the Seminole one, right? Yeah, that's the bigger table.
If you continue to follow the traffic calming study manual, the next step would be to finalize a plan and then conduct a community or neighborhood survey to gauge the approval of the residents in the area before you proceed forward with a test or an implementation.
Does Chief
So-
Maxey go to these meetings?
He has not attended since the first. No.
Are they in the ambulance service aware?
I talked to Tom.
Then they're okay with it.
Ambulances.
So my question is, I mean, I came at the very end of the traffic calming meeting, but my understanding was we were going to ask the Board of Supervisors to approve something. So what are you asking of us today?
Well, we're asking for you to approve the speed bumps, for those, the 6 speed bumps, 5 on Village and 1 on Grimley. Here again,
All at once? 6
Yes.
all at once?
yes.
It's bumps or humps?
Well, I mean, here again, they should be tables, and I think that was the whole idea in the meeting. We had all talked about the Seminole, and I think Carol can correct me if I'm wrong, the Seminole was the longer table. It has like a 20-foot flat top and then 2 tapered 8 to 10-foot tapers on either side of it. And here again, we haven't gotten any pictures of that elsewhere. I did ask Kevin to reach out to Perkiomen Township, which he did. And over off of, I think it's Kagi Road, is a development called Cranberry Estates. And on Cranberry, they just did their resurfacing, and they put in more of a Watts or some similar to what you said you were driving over. I have a picture of it, but I mean, here again, it's probably 20 feet wide on a 30-foot road, and it might have a 4 to 6 foot taper. It might be 3 inches, you know, high in the center. I mean, it does slow people down a little bit.
Do they have something on the top of it, Bob, to pick it out? In other words, painting or anything?
They have just like an arrow,
And that's it?
and that's it, yeah.
You don't have a cost, you don't have a cost, right?
It was $3,000. Now, I don't know if that included the striping and the, yes, each, $3,000 each. So if you're looking at 6 times 3, you're at 18,000, and then another couple thousand for signs and another couple thousand for striping. You know, you're looking $20,000 to $22,000 to do just a project across the street.
Before we go too far with this, I thought we were gonna try 2. And then move forward. I mean.
You know, that's up to the board. I mean, the,
Just to see if we have a lot of complaints or.
right.
See if they're effective.
Yeah, but
I mean, I thought we were talking about
I mean,
two kind of.
we
what
did
if
discuss
if
that
we
too.
can.
Yes.
start with 2, right off.
That sounds good.
I mean, I wanna make sure everybody's gonna be happy with it too.
Right.
Six is a lot.
You know, instead of putting all 6 of them in at one shot and then all of a sudden, hey, we gotta take this one out or that one out, you know.
Exactly, no, that's good,
Okay.
Terry, yeah.
To
The other
clarify,
thing-
I don't believe that we can put them on Grimley because of the curved radiuses there.
Well, that's, really, the
That's-
first 2 should be out in the loop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the loop is
That's
what
the
was
south one.
analyzed
Yeah.
for potential locations. This should be taken a step further with pavement markings and signings prior to implementation. And then again, if you want to go back to the process within the traffic calming manual, there would be a community survey done of that neighborhood.
What's a community
There.
So that's when you put out a survey,
There.
you know, right, we've heard from a few residents, and we're very fortunate to have the homeowners association officers here. But a community survey goes out to the entire community, and there are a number of ways of doing that. But to let them know that this is being considered and get feedback on that before you proceed with implementation.
So that's another couple months. So we're just here to serve the community, but what I've heard from people in the last couple of meetings is we want it now. So.
Well, you heard from a few people
A
that
few
they want it
people.
now.
So,
And I think
how many people are here from the traffic calming committee who can speak to, who can speak to a survey, about a survey?
I've done an awful lot of public involvement in my career, and all due respect to those who come to the traffic calming meetings, there are always a few people who are very engaged and very concerned and very involved in the process. And those people who come to the public meetings, that's the itch that gets scratched. So, but it's a large community, and there's a large number of people who live in that community who haven't come to the traffic calming communities, maybe have no clue that this is even going on. And if we go forth and put this stuff in without a broader base of knowledge about them, you are going to get negative feedback. It pays to take the time to hold people's hands a little bit and ensure that everybody's on board before we invest time and money and effort to get these things implemented, because it will save you aggravation in the long run. I can guarantee that.
So how would you execute a survey, like, you know?
I would put a survey on the website, send people postcards, say, go to this website, tell us what you think. You can see the picture there, you post, the plan, once Carol has it finalized. You post a plan, people can look at it, we can put some explanations on what it all means and why we're doing it, because everybody might not have the same, feeling about
people
what's
then
needed.
Can't say that they were never given an
And people can't say
opportunity.
that they were never given an opportunity to discuss it.
How many houses are we talking about?
How many residents do you have over there?
There's
How many
240
homes?
units, so there's
200.
over 500.
Yeah, so it's a lot of people.
So 240 postcards we're talking.
Would you rather do that by yourself and bring it back?
Well, we've already sent out community e-blasts to all 240 homeowners, all right? Telling them what's going on and to attend certain meetings, okay? As we had in the last meeting, there were just a handful, all right?
Right.
But what she's saying is really true, because I've lived in that community for 27 years. I've been the president for a long time, and I know just about all the residents and everything else. And their attitude will be, they will be up in arms, okay? Because their main concern, like I've been saying all along, is speeding is secondary. Stop sign enforcement is primary.
Two separate, yeah,
Period,
yeah.
okay?
that's
Because they
two-
are all the people that are concerned with that issue are people that have children, that are at those bus stops, that are in the vicinity of the stop signs. And I've mentioned it before, we had one incident where somebody ran right around the school bus while it was unloading kids. That could have been catastrophic.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That was
So
close.
knowing the type of people that we have in our community, they're not gonna be that receptive.
Well, and I think there are two separate issues here, absolutely. The speeding is one thing, and the school bus stop and the stop sign, people not stopping at a stop sign are two separate issues. We have to deal with them two separate ways. I think one thing about the public survey and the website would give us an opportunity to do a little marketing and public information about the whole thing, so that we can say, here's one thing that we can do now, short term, it doesn't address the problem with the stop signs, we are following a separate track to try to figure out how to deal with that. But in the meantime, we're gonna try to slow people down. So I think it allows the supervisors to have a position where you're taking some action as quickly as possible through good engineering and making sure that we aren't making something else worse. But it also gives you an opportunity to let people know this isn't the only thing that we're considering. We are trying to move forward with on multiple fronts to address these multiple different issues.
Would it perhaps be more efficient to use your
Well, my-
newsletter to send out this?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
possible too.
What I was gonna
Do some
say
kind of
is,
a
what I would
survey?
recommend is, for us as a board and you as a board to work in conjunction to develop whatever documents that that you want to publicize. Then we can use our website to transmit them to the people.
Push it in,
Because
yeah.
And asking
using,
for
using your website,
They won't get to
it
everybody.
won't get to
That's
everybody,
what
Right,
I
because
was
they
right.
will not,
It won't.
I can tell you right now,
They won't respond.
90% of the people don't even know that exists.
That's why I
okay?
had, I mentioned earlier, is it easier for yous to do
It
it?
What I
would be
think-
easier for us to do it in conjunction with whatever,
So
you
could
know,
the
we
As
traffic
long as we
calming-
have a record,
Right.
as long as we have a record
Right.
that all the households were
Exactly.
notified in some fashion, I
Well,
think that's fine.
it would be all the households that we have
And you-
email
and you may-
addresses for.
You maintain a list. that-
Right,
Oh,
and then the
Put it in
ones that
public
we don't
record.
have email addresses for, we send hard copies to.
Fine. As long as there's some record that every household was notified, so that when people come back later and say, who decided on all this and how come I wasn't informed? We can say, well, everybody was informed, so
Could
if
the
you missed
traffic
it, you
calming
missed it.
committee come up
I mean,
with
the other
some-
option
a
too
draft?
We
is
certainly can
to
help
just
put together the information
it-
to get posted, yeah.
twofold, to do it via email and to do it via hard copy. That way, somebody can say, I've never seen it.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we go through that all the time, you know, when we have inspections of the community and somebody's getting fined for something, they say, oh, I never knew I had to power wash my house even though the grapes were growing on the side. You know?
Okay, so then
It's not
now,
uncommon.
so as of right now, this is the way we're gonna go with it. So we get this information back.
Yeah.
Okay, so it falls back into you as quick as you can get it.
Yeah.
And then we go back to this stop sign deal. You know, we're still in a situation that stop signs are illegal. They're just no good. So, you know, I don't know how we're gonna even address that.
I'm not
situation.
sure either, because there are certain warrants that have to be met to put up a legal stop sign, and the traffic volumes just really aren't there.
Okay, so the
So-
stop signs are junk, really?
Well,
Yeah.
they
I mean,
don't, they
Then take them down, right?
are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay,
Take them down and then put the.
here's, my idea was to get rid of the stop sign and put a speed bump right there.
And
Okay?
we're
I need
totally
to-
in
Put one in
favor
an
of that.
intersection, you can't put one in an intersection.
Unfortunately, yeah, the criteria have a certain distance from the intersection, but we can
Intersection.
put 150 feet from the intersection.
You slow people down,
Oh,
right?
Oh, it could cause accidents. But the reason that you don't put them at intersections is
No,
because
no, but I mean, the speed limit is 100, you said it's 150 feet
Right.
from the
it
intersection.
slows people
It'll
down.
slow them
Yeah,
down before
but
they
is
get
that
to the
really
intersection.
a legal intersection, or do you, sometimes the language is used to benefit the one that's saying it, okay? Is it a driveway or is it a street? And if it's a street, well,
They're
we know village is a street, but are other roads, are they driveways or are they streets? Because under certain instances, they're referred to as driveways. So
Well,
if
then they
it's a
don't get stop
driveway,
signs either.
so if it's a
You take out all the
driveway,
stop signs.
then it's not an intersection.
Well, then you take out all the stop signs, but you still can't put a speed bump where people are going to be turning, because you can't do both motions at the same time safely. It's just a safety issue.
Not 50 mile an hour.
Well, yeah, not 25, you should say. It
Or you
makes
put
it
them 10,
difficult.
15, 10
We'll,
feet away.
we'll put a sign up, launch speed.
Uh,
Well, I think the other thing too is it's a township road, so if we're just gonna limit, you know, trying to contact the people in Spring Mount, I think we really need to contact pretty much everybody in the township. You know, one of the things that we were told in the beginning when we first started was to deal with the townhouses. And obviously because of this issue here with the stop sign issue, that's why Village Drive got picked first. But the people are waiting in Cedar Hill to understand it, and the people that are cutting through aren't gonna know about, you know, the speed bump. So to educate everybody in the township, and you know, at the last couple of meetings, you've heard Lee Stevenson that lives on Main Street saying she wants to, you know, speed tables on Main Street as well. In that letter that I gave you, I also suggested that, you know, maybe on Main Street where Crystal and Main and Boulder and Main, maybe we just add multi-way stop signs there, since hers is in the middle. And since on the outside ends, we already have, from what everybody's saying, at Spring Mount Road and Main Street, we're saying we have the warrants available for that. And then at Fulmer and Main, we already have the warrants. So if we have the warranted traffic at each end, there shouldn't be any reason why we can't put that in the middle.
So that would need, you'd need to have traffic counts done out there to establish that, and the police have the, if the police, if you direct the police to do that, they have the tools.
I think what we ought to do is, let's concentrate on number one first,
Right.
okay? Then we'll go to number two, because if we start getting this one and then that one together and mix them together, we're just running too fast.
Yeah, you need to get the homeowners, and
Yeah,
the people
let's get
immediately
one
affected,
done.
you need to get their approval first.
Before we go running around putting stuff all over the township, okay? Let's do that.
There's criteria, again, going back to the traffic calming manual, they recommend establishing criteria of what you're gonna study, not just randomly taking every call that comes. And we actually looked at a number of other townships and the criteria they used. Kevin and I both have those ordinances and can share them around. And Kevin just got an ordinance from Perkiomen Township that looks really well on how to, under what circumstances you're going to take in that, study it, and then what your parameters are for saying, yes, there's a problem here that needs to be addressed. And I think it might behoove the committee and the township to consider implementing some sort of a process like that. It would be consistent with the state manual and consistent with what I've been seeing in the other townships.
Okay.
So you talked about the survey going out to the individuals, certainly in that direct community. You'll also post something on the township website or something so the
Yes.
general community will know, right?
Okay, yeah, yes. Okay, Kevin? We'll get that up right away, so we're not.
Well, it's, I think first we need to have a drawing
Yeah,
that
right.
shows
I need the
exactly,
information before I can put
we
it
need to
out.
show some kind of a drawing where they're gonna be, and when the traffic calming committee is to put together some narrative to go with that, to explain what it is and why we're doing it.
Okay.
Because otherwise it's gonna confuse the heck out of it.
So we'll start with two, though.
Start with two.
That's fair.
Okay.
So question is, we're starting with two, where are we looking at the two?
Which
Would
two?
include the
One on
residents.
either side of the
Stop
Village
signs.
Drive.
Yeah.
Right on the one,
So these
Village Drive.
red dots indicate where we can put them based on the criteria in the traffic calming manual. So I'm assuming you'd want one here, and I don't know if you'd want the other one here or further down.
These two.
Where's the school bus?
Right there at this intersection, that where
Which
the
one?
stop signs are.
this one here and this one
School
here.
bus stop right here
Yep.
and
And you've got a
there.
pretty good hill coming down that levels off.
Correct.
Yeah, they're looking at the one in the middle, on the right,
This one?
yeah, the one in the middle, and
And
then
this
it's that one, yeah.
The top one.
That's what the homeowners association said.
They're pretty well spaced.
Circle it.
Yeah, I'll take it a highlight, make it even better.
That way it will wash into the top.
Now, there's a little picture. Right here. The HOA, right?
Down here again, we're gonna use the Seminole. You know, that's where the problem comes
Committee
into.
talked about the Seminole.
That's what we
is-
talked about,
The
yes.
Seminole is, you have 6 inches of ramp, and then 10 feet of flat table, and then 6 inches of ramp again.
6 feet.
6 feet, sorry, and it goes up about 3 inches. So the Seminole hump has a design speed of 25 to 30 miles per hour.
That's good.
That's the smoother of the two.
Why?
Safe, safely.
Help me
Yeah.
stop.
If you go faster than that, you're gonna notice it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The other option is
You
called the
understand,
watts.
Tom? That's why Tom's here, I wanted him to
Right.
come to listen.
You're talking 10 feet of ramp you're talking?
No, no, it's
6
20
feet
down.
of ramp,
6 feet
and then 10 feet of
Flat.
flat,
of flat?
and then
Would be like
6
a
feet back
tabletop.
down again.
Yeah, sounds pretty big, but okay.
Yeah, the Seminole says it,
Goes by fast.
again, taking information from the
I'm just
manual.
wondering for the trucks, that's all.
The Seminole's gonna delay your truck about a second.
Yeah,
The
rough
more
ride.
severe one
Yeah.
would be delaying the fire trucks.
It won't damage any
Up to
cars,
10.
I think that's the concern. The steeple.
It has to be engineered so A, it doesn't damage vehicles, and B, in bad weather, if it's icy or something, somebody hits that and doesn't get launched out over the sidewalk someplace. So it can't be too extreme where you have to really slow down, but it's enough of a change in elevation that the driver definitely notices. And when they're painted out, you're definitely gonna see it.
With the cartway being 30 foot, if we're only gonna put those two in right away and not do the additional striping, we're gonna need at least 3 feet on the curb, so that's gonna reduce the width of it to 24 feet. So it'll be 24 feet wide, and then, as Carol just said, Carol, you said the top flat part is 10 feet,
Yeah,
and then 2.6, so it's 22, so it's gonna
22
be,
feet total.
yeah.
That works.
And then each one would be painted yellow.
I think it's like a chevron stripe around
Yeah.
to show you
Okay.
it goes up, yeah.
Lincoln lights. Yeah. Beacons.
Yeah.
Sirens or speeders, where
Okay, is there any more questions on this, or are we all? And we'll wait to hear from,
Well, you want us to put something together,
I'll work
Crystal?
with Carol, once she gets a drawing done up, then we'll work on, together on a narrative and some illustrations of what, like a cross-section of what it's gonna look
Yeah,
like.
and all we need is a PDF file to,
Right.
and then just.
Was that something the board can do tonight? Can they authorize Carol's, an additional drawing for this?
Enhance this to actually show the design and appropriate pavement markings that would be associated so that we can attach
That's
that to the
the
survey.
minimum work then.
okay, if you do that. Is this the sketch that you're gonna have the other bumps, speed bumps?
No, we'll start with a fresh one, and just show the two. that
Yeah,
we're-
but what I'm saying, is this where the other ones will be?
Could be.
Projected.
That's
Yeah,
their projected
projected.
area.
Can we just put a note on that to show people that this is,
Future.
this could be a future?
Like
of-
phase one and future phases type of thing?
Yeah,
Good,
only
good.
because we don't have to go back through this again.
Okay.
Save us a lot of
But it's
time.
not
Okay.
a commitment, it's just,
If they work, we could do
Potentially.
more. You're right, if they work, we could do more.
All right, is
or
that
if they work,
okay with
maybe you
you?
don't need more,
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah.
If I just
The-
may
the-
offer.
What I'm concerned about, you don't want people to say, oh, well, you promised us more bumps.
Around.
Is there a risk of
So
that?
Carol, then just.
Oh, sure. There's a risk that some people will say we should have more bumps, there are risks that some people will say, take them out, they make my life crazy. The people who live next to them are probably gonna get tired of a
As
little
long
bit
as
of
it's
a
understood
noise,
that
but-
there's no commitment at this point to putting the 3 additional ones, we put the 2 in and see how it works,
Yeah,
and then go from there.
yeah,
From
yeah, and
a
we'll put all that in the
terminology
narrative.
perspective,
Yeah,
technically, you're putting humps in. Bumps are more narrow,
Yeah.
and that is what is in shopping center parking lots. So technically, what you're putting in are speed humps,
yeah.
which is why some of the things in some of the other municipalities